Hi. I guess we can get started again.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Ready,
Yeah.
okay.
We'll hear now from Becky Miosi, our Register of Deeds.
All
Good
right.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here today. All right, let's get started. Our mission is to serve the public and preserve the records of all real estate-related transactions with professionalism and courtesy to all our constituents in a fiscally responsible way. We record real estate documents conveying real estate, and we do that immediately. That's very important because if we're slow at our job or sloppy, it can stall economic growth. If there's uncertainty for businesses, they can't develop. Homeowners can't sell, buy homes. We can slow the market down. So it's very important. Not only would it stop the tax rolls, it stopped the economy. So I just wanted to note that. I've heard in some counties, moving trucks can be waiting in driveways, waiting on the Register of Deeds. Some counties take 2 weeks to completely process the documents. So I'm proud of what my staff has done. We took a budget cut years ago, and we've done very well with my small but mighty staff, and they've done very well. And, you know, I believe that's why the Register of Deeds is an elected position, because people want to hold them accountable because we touch their lives so closely economically, and also because of those property records, because they are so important. So where we are now, we're recording around anywhere from 80 to 200 documents a day, 27,000 per year. We just hit 206 the other day. I was just surprised. But it's a lot of documents to go through, and we're not just stamping them and putting them through. We're examining those, making sure everything, all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. We have to check everything. So it takes time, and it takes humans to examine those. Like I said before, it keeps the economy moving and the tax rolls generating income. We are e-recording, electronic recording, at 72% now. When I came into office 6 years ago, we were at 35%. I can't believe how much it's jumped. But that means we aren't touching paper, we aren't opening envelopes. We get the document on our computer, we can process it and get it indexed in, and it's on its way back to the submitter. So it's really saving a lot of time, and that number just keeps continuing to climb. So I can imagine someday we'll be about 90% or so. We continue to return our walk-in documents in 5 minutes. Customers really appreciate that. They come in the door, they get their document recorded, and they're just pleasantly surprised that they're out the door with their deed in hand. So they just love that. We continue to have our software company, Fiddler Technologies, and they continue to make improvements. So it's nice to have that going. They're on the cutting edge of always putting in new enhancements to our software. So that's kind of a nice perk about having that software. And our staff is able to record 10,000 documents per employee per year. I haven't checked lately, but last time I checked, that number was around 3,000 to 5,000 across the state. So they are really handling a lot. And if one or two are gone a certain day, that staff member is really handling a lot. So you have to really commend them. This is just kind of a snapshot of document volumes. It's not scientific or anything. This is just what our software company put out. These are just the counties that our software company has. So it's just a snapshot, but I just kind of wanted to show you. The red in there is a year ago, and blue is this year up top there. And the national trend is that document volumes are down nationwide compared to a year ago. And then, but however, Kansas, if you look down at the bottom, the colored line there, the orange, for Kansas, we're above the national trend. So I think we continue to perform well. Our volumes are down this year. I think between the cold winter and the flooded basements, I think people aren't selling homes right now. And from what I've heard in the Topeka market, there's just not a lot of inventory out there. So it's just been a little bit slow. But like I said, we had 206 documents the other day, so it might just be a late boom. Hopefully we'll catch up. We may not totally catch up, but at least we are doing well right now. So I just want to talk a little bit about our revenues. Those county officers' fees are copies, and then we have filing fees and Heritage Trust Fund. That's $1 per page per document that we bring in, and we collect $30,000. That goes to the state for grants, historical grants for people to apply for. And then after we hit that 30,000 mark, the county gets to collect that. So I'm estimating that about 52,000. So our total revenues projected are about 1,054,000. And then on to my budget request. No changes except for in the personnel that the budget that the commission has put into place, but everything else is staying the same. We're about 98% of our budget is going to personnel. So, and then our technology fund, we are able to keep that low budget because of our technology fund, and we use that to purchase microfilm, all of our hardware, our software, our scanners, printers, all that's technology related. I can purchase with the technology fund. And then when we have excess funds, we can transfer those to land records for other offices to use, and so that helps the county. And we bring in approximately $200,000 a year in technology fees. So I believe that is all I have for you. Do you have any questions for me?
Do you have questions?
Yeah, the microfilm, we don't still purchase microfilm. I mean, it's all been converted digitally now.
Well, we do.
I don't know, I'm just asking.
Registers of deeds are very redundant people. We we keep a hard copy, we keep a digital copy, we keep a copy on the server. We are required by statute to keep some kind of hard copy still. And so we make a microfilm, and we store it.
Is that considered a hard copy, excuse me?
Yes, that's considered a hard copy.
Okay.
That's our hard copy, and then we have digital also.
Okay.
So what we were doing is we have an off-site storage that we store those in case a tornado or something would hit our building. We have it off-site. However, and then we also kept one in office, but I determined that really nobody is looking at that film in office anymore. It's all on the computer. So I stopped purchasing the in-office microfilm, but I do still purchase it for the off-site storage. So we have it there. If something should happen to the servers here or the servers at our software company, we have a hard copy somewhere. So
Sounds like we're covered.
we're covered. But we have to. We're required by law to keep those forever. So.
I suppose microfilm has a life expectancy too, doesn't it?
Yes.
I mean, it's,
The newer film has about 500 years.
oh, well,
Some of the older
gotta
film,
get us out of office.
some of the older film doesn't, yeah. So,
All right.
yeah.
Very good. Commissioner Cook?
Becky, I noticed you did a deduction on your office supplies, and is that just because of the amount of e-filing that we're doing, the amount of electronic stuff, so we don't need as much paper or as many supplies?
Yeah. Did I reduce that? I didn't know I did.
In 2018. In 2018, you had $2,221 that you
Oh,
actually spent.
spent,
Your
okay.
budget for last year, or for this year, and then for next year, you have 1,200.
Okay. yeah, I could possibly move some of those numbers around.
I mean, it's a pretty small amount,
It
but I'm
is.
just kind of trying to see where our trends are going and what you're seeing in your office as more electronic, less paper needs, less actual physical product. Now, your office staff is kind of condensed over time as well. I mean, do you think you're at a spot where you guys are hitting a critical point to where, I mean, you're just down to an office of 2 and you, right?
Well, we have one person that we pay on the technology fund, so I have 3 staff members, and the only time it's a problem is when 1 or 2 of them, usually if it's 2, are out. And that happens from time to time. I've had times where I've been all by myself in the office until 11 o'clock because of this emergency and that emergency. I was answering the phones, and that happens to my staff too. Sometimes they're all alone, and I really don't like that. I don't think it's fair to them. If I could have my wishes, yes, I'd have another staff member.
Okay. But I mean, I just didn't know, as we go, again, to more electronic means, less paper, or if our staff needs are right, kind of where they're needing to be, if everybody's there.
Yeah, they're right where they need to be, I believe.
Okay. And then on your filing fees, you still have $1 million on the filing fees. Do you anticipate that still being the same?
I believe that should stay pretty steady now, because we're not fluctuating anything now that the mortgage registration is out and our filing fees are where they are. It's all dependent on document volumes.
What's selling and what's not?
Right.
Okay. I don't have any others.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just mentioned that Becky's doing a great job as our Register of Deeds. She got was it Kansas Association of Register of Deeds?
Yes.
To come to Topeka and ask me to speak, and I usually don't like to speak in public, but it went well. But what I told that group was that Becky did such a great job because of 2 things. Primarily is she's a part of our team. She comes to commission meetings. She's interested in what's going on in the whole county. And number 2, she is really customer focused. Unlike most government organizations, Shawnee County is customer focused. We don't treat people like they're a nuisance. We treat them like customers, and Becky exemplifies that tremendously. So I did want to point those things out. She has really done a good job.
Thank you.
Anything, Becky?
I do have a comment. I'd just like to commend her for leading the Land Records
Yeah.
Fund and that committee. She leads the committee, and she determines what can go into that fund. And she is a team player, and it's not just for things of her office. It's really for, as our appraiser mentioned this morning, it's really used for things throughout the county, and she is just a real good team player and looks at the county as a whole, and I really appreciate that.
Very good. Thank you, Betty.
Thank you.
All right. We have the Planning Department budget hearing at 2 o'clock, and so now we're officially adjourned.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.